Down here at Orlando Episcopal Church, something rather. You can see what the church did here. Obviously, these are Crusader arches. Those are Crusader arches, and there were Crusaders right there. You see, these are empty. There's 6 empty ones here. And they have Luke, which is one of the Gospels. But there were Crusaders there, and they removed them. The church removed the Crusaders. Because if you go into Europe, churches like this, they still have the Crusader ones. And there's Crusaders there. And that's where all this stuff comes from. The Crusaders were going around taking things of evidence before the flood and bringing it back to the church. So all the stuff in the Europe from the Crusaders is, you could call it like medieval graffiti, like royal medieval graffiti almost. And that's really what all the Gothic cathedrals, like Cologne, Germany, etc., are from. But yeah, the points is Crusader style, and then here we have more empty pedestals. Obviously, they were intentionally left empty. Sometimes they were left empty because they just didn't have time. They were moving. They were going somewhere else, and they didn't have time to finish everything. So some of the ones in Europe, you can see there's like a few there. Maybe there's a couple missing. Different roses. Those are roses. And you can see it's the church. It's the church that wrote over them. Obviously, you can see what's still around. You can see what's still around, and that's what's still around, is the story that the Crusaders were given to crusade with. This is what's left. It's the story of of what the Crusaders were pushing. It was the church. It was the church that gave them the story, and then it was the Crusaders that took that story all throughout the Middle Ages, basically. And that is so you have the somatic pattern up there, and so that's really what this is a symbol of. This is a symbol of how the church has outlasted the Crusaders. The First Reich is the Holy Roman Empire. That is the First Reich. If you look that up, the Third Reich was the Nazis. So this is the First Reich here. It's just they're telling you, like, they tell you clearly in the history books, like, really what's going on. If you just have the eye to see it. And so that's what some of this is. They leave their marks. The point. See, everything's coming to a point. That's patriarchy. That's symbol of a patriarchal rule. Because Rome, it was an arch. You had the arches in Rome. This is not Roman. This is Crusader. There's a difference. There's absolutely a difference. The Crusaders were basically pagans that sold out to the Roman Church because where paganism ended was in Europe. And so, all these pagan war chiefs, they were basically allowed to crusade in the name of the church if they wanted to keep their power. They just had to do what the church told them to do, and the church gave them all this power. Basically, it wasn't war. It was they called it crusading because they just went around raping everything. That's the reason why like 1 in 9 people are related today. Is because of the Crusades. That's some of what that's related to. Basically an apocalypse, so that humans in the future cannot inbreed, cannot procreate without inbreeding. And that was how the end by fire happened, was by word. And it was the way that they used their words to cause power to them, which they had a master race. They had a group of people that they used specifically for this operation of the master race. This is where some of that master race comes from, is how the Crusaders were going around back in the day, raping women, essentially. But they had their own set guys that they were going to do that with, just like the Nazis. It's how the Nazis ruled as well. And so that's really what this style of architecture is. And it even shows you, like, there's your Nazi symbol. Okay. The swastika is a Roman symbol. It's in Jerash, which is the largest ancient monument representing Rome.